Day 2 of the Sepang test was a frustrating one for riders and teams alike, as overnight rain and then yet more in the afternoon resulted in only a few hours of dry running. Despite that, lap times were improved and plenty of parts tested. And fastest was this man, Prima Pramac Racing's Jorge Martin, thanks to a 1:58.736. His day wasn't without issue though, a wet curb catching him out at turn 7 and forcing him to go to the medical centre. RNF Aprilia's Miguel Oliveira claimed second spot on Saturday as the Portuguese rider's adaptation to the RSGP took yet another positive step forward. Now into the top 5 overall and ahead of factory counterpart Aleix Espargaro, Oliveira is living up to his tag as 2023's dark horse. Third on the timesheets was Gas Tectoi's Pol Espargaro as the Spaniard impressed once again, but he did have a flashpoint right here with world champion Pecco Bagnaia during the opening stages of the day. When it comes to Ducati, it was thumbs up for Bagnaia, despite the contact with Pol, which did result in damage to his GP23. Aerodynamic work took place between him and Bastianini, with Bastianini also reportedly working on the 2023 updated engine. Today's fastest man, Martin, and his teammate Johann Zarco were gathering further aerodynamic data as well as testing an updated swing arm. Meanwhile, the men all running 2022 Ducatis, VR46's Luca Marini and Marco Bezzecchi, plus Grassini's Fabio Di Gianantonio and Alex Marquez, look set to focus on MotoGP sprint simulations on the final day as they try and get ready for the sport's biggest shake-up in recent memory. When it comes to Honda and HRC, it was 4 bikes down to 3 for Marc Marquez on day 2, as the 2022 machine that he used yesterday to get up to speed with was parked for the day. 2 of the machines in the Repsol Honda box are developmental 2023 bikes with different chassis spotted on both, whilst the third is an experimental machine, and an interesting one at that as well, appearing to have Honda's 2021 aerodynamics package and possibly a swing arm from 2018. Joan Mir, Alex Rins and Takaki Nakagami all have 2 2023 machines at their disposal, with Nakagami having 2 different chassis in his Idemitsu LCR Honda box. When it comes to the timesheets, it makes good reading for Alex Rins and the LCR Honda Castrol team, but bad news for Honda. Rins managed to find 0.8 of a second on Saturday to move himself up to 16th overall, 8th on today's timesheets, and as a result is now Honda's fastest man overall. Marc Marquez failed to improve today and slips down to 18th. His teammate Joan Mir found only a couple of tenths and remains 19th, whilst Takaki Nakagami found a full second but sits 22nd overall. After Brad Binder confirmed he works solely on KTM's radically new 2023 engine on Friday, today it was the turn of new teammate Jack Miller. The Australian was first out when the green flag waved, trying to gather as much data as possible on the new motor. Binder, meanwhile, switched his attention to aerodynamics today, with 3 different variations spotted throughout the course of the morning inside the Red Bull KTM factory racing garage. Gas Tectoi's Pol Espargaro was also working hard on aerodynamics, one of which had a MotoGP first, as KTM combines the Aprilia-style ground effect side fairing with downwash ducts that we first saw implemented by Ducati. Rookie Augusto Fernandez completed 32 laps today but failed to improve in lap time, whilst Binder did improve, moving himself up to 17th on the timesheets. A 1:59.230 leaves the South African 3/4 of a second adrift of top spot. Yamaha's new aerodynamics package was spotted on both of Fabio Quartararo's Yamaha M1s this morning, meaning the Frenchman must be a fan of the new update. And it translated into speed too, with the 2021 world champion 4th on day 2 to move him up to 8th in the combined standings. Both Quartararo and teammate Franco Morbidelli have been working on a new chassis after Quartararo said his initial feeling yesterday wasn't great with it. When it comes to the timesheets for Morbidelli, he failed to improve on the 1:59.1180 he posted yesterday and sits 15th overall. Portugal's Oliveira was the main talking point to come out of the Nawali factory on Saturday as he got to within a tenth of his best ever lap around Sepang, set in testing last year aboard the KTM RC16. Ralf Fernandez was also able to improve on his third day riding an Aprilia and even went as far as saying yesterday evening that it's the first time he's enjoyed riding a bike since back in 2021. Fernandez finding a huge 3/4 of a second on Saturday to move him up to 13th overall. More work took place on the 2023 RSGP in the factory box today, despite a pair of issues for Aleix Espargaro. The Spaniard crashed out just before lunch at turn 12 unhurt, and then suffered a technical issue in the final hour of the day. Both him and teammate Maverick Viñales failed to improve on the lap times they posted yesterday, but Viñales sits second overall, and Espargaro just inside the top 10 in 9th. So that's that for day 2 in Malaysia. Just one day remains. Make sure you tune in for the final day of running as teams and riders no doubt pray for a full day of dry running after the flag. We'll be with you live, as always, at 5:30 local time for a full rundown of everything we've seen at the crucial Sepang test. We'll see you then.